So we are going to launch on book 10. Book 10, when the real fight begins, battle begins, for which Savitri had come all the way from above. She had taken this birth to deal with death, and now she is going to really deal with death. Death is, according to the very beginning of Savitri, epic Savitri, is the obstacle standing in the way of the divine event. And to clear the obstacle, she has taken the mortal birth. And now, how she is going to remove the obstacle, that is what we are going to see in this book, book 10. But what is the divine event? She wants to remove the obstacle standing in the way of the divine event. The divine event is the divine manifestation upon earth. That is the event. Why it is an event and not a manifestation? Because with this thing, with this event, it is going to start. Manifestation is going to begin. Will get going. The event has occurred here. She has vanquished death. Now the manifestation will take place. And that is what we will have in the 11th book, the book of the everlasting day. The divine manifestation culminating in the coming down of Krishna and Kali on the earth field. The divine bliss and divine dynamism in action in the world of mortality. So that is the thing which will happen after this particular event. Savitri was compelled to take the mortal birth. That is important. Although she was compelled, it does not necessarily mean that she will oblige. She also accepted the compulsion. You want me to come? Okay, I come. She comes here. What for? She was compelled to take the mortal birth. She was compelled to take the mortal birth for clearing the divine event, the obstacle standing in the way of the divine event. It is she alone who can do that. And then would start the manifestation after that. But what is the divine manifestation? Okay, let there be light. It does not mean that there will be light. God said, let there be light, and there was a light. It doesn't work only that way. It is necessary. You have to build a powerhouse. You have to build the entire electricity yards, build towers, build distribution systems, build boards, put plugs, panels, etc. in the house, and then switch it on. Then it becomes, let there be light and light. Not until then. Now all that building of the powerhouse, putting the transmission towers, putting the electrical lines and all that, that is the actual work which somebody has to do if there has to be light all around. And that is exactly what Ashwapati did. How did he do that? By his yoga tapasya. What he found was that, after all, in this entire creation, there is a oneness. There is only one who is present everywhere, up, down, left, right, below, front, back, etc. Everywhere he is there, even down below, up there, wherever it is there, he is there, oneness. So if the divine oneness is there, and that is the true Advaita. Advaita means which cannot be divided. Dvaita means a division. That is the true Advaita. So he really realized the true Advaita, that after all this entire creation of the Supreme is his. And if it is so, then what is up there should also be here. That is necessary. That is understandable. Now, the entire spiritual experience of the past, they had the experience of oneness, Advaitic experience they had. But to carry that oneness forward, that only Yogi Ashwapati does. How does he do that? He builds in the transcendent, in Sachitananda, in Brahmapuri, the city of God, in the house of the Spirit. He builds, he creates, establishes a new creation. By his yoga tapasya, he constructs a new world in the transcendent. Now, once that new world is there, then what is there can be here. So there cannot be manifestation here. The divine event means what? You have to now bring it down. Where from? You have to prepare something up there first. Otherwise, what will she do? You are calling her, you are inviting her, Madam, please come down. Yes, I am ready to do it. But what do I do? Give me a job. She is asking, give me a job. I don't want to come as a guest and stay here and enjoy your hospitality. I want a job. So you have to give me a job when you are inviting me. And in other words, what Ashwapati has really done is, he has created a job for her. He has created a job for her. Look, madam, the word is there, already everything. The flame pioneers are waiting to come down. Now, in order to bring them down, you have to step forward and you have to do the work. So the world's compulsion, world's desire, the compulsion of inviting her is to bring down what he has created in the transcendent, in Sachidananda, in the city of God, in Brahmapuri. He has created that and it has to bring down. And then, because she sees that there is a job for her, she agrees. She has been compelled by Ashwapati to take mortal birth. She sees that, yes, there is a job for her, and therefore I am willing to come down here. She agrees. She comes down as Savitri. And then Savitri's work begins. And she sees that the obstacle which is standing between what she has to do and what should be is the presence of death. And that is what is symbolized as the death of Satyavan. Therefore, Satyavan must die. And that thing keeps on repeating throughout Savitri. Satyavan must die, Satyavan must die, Satyavan must die, Satyavan must die. As if at the end of every canto, you are chanting the line, Satyavan must die. It is not Satyavan will die. It is not that. Satyavan must die. because it is in his death, Savitri confronts death and removes death, and the new creation begins, comes down. It is in his death. So therefore it is must. It is not Satyavan will die, Satyavan shall die. It's not that. He must die throughout. And now that moment is coming, the auspicious moment of Satyavan's death. See, the most desirable moment of Satyavan's death has come. Satyavan's soul has been snatched away by death. He is now taking it to his home, and Savitri is following death to snatch it, to bring it back from him. So we have seen that one of the glorious things which happened was when the soul of Satyavan was taken out by Yama, by death, a luminous Satyavan arose. The real Satyavan was arose. So it is the contribution of Yama, of death, to really show us the luminous Satyavan. Until now we are seeing as a youth, as a figure, as a happy boy, etc., all that thing. But there is something much more behind him that was revealed by death, by Yama. A luminous Satyavan arose as they were going forward. And then Savitri is arguing with Yama, with death. I want it back. And death, of course, says, it is not possible. The law will not allow that thing to happen. It is the scheme of things which must be followed to maintain the order of the world. If the order of the world has to run, you have to follow laws. You cannot break law. But Savitri says, I don't care about law. Things have to be changed now, you see. And therefore now we are coming to the debate of Savitri with death, you see. We were saying last time that they are going in a kind of a procession. The spirit of Satyavan, behind him is death, behind him is Savitri. And Savitri from behind is controlling the movement of everybody from behind. She is the leader from behind, not in the front, see, for the entire march, you see. So last time we have seen that Savitri was offered a few means, okay, take this, take this, take this. You want eyesight for your father-in-law? Okay, have it. You want children for your father? Okay, let him have. You want a kingdom for father-in-law? Okay, let him have. There was no problem at all as far as death was concerned. But Savitri was insistent, what I want is really the soul of Satyavan back. It is only because of his soul that the earth can flower into a new entity, a new creation can begin. It is for the sake of the soul of the earth, I want back the soul of the earth, not for myself. I don't need him for myself. I need it for the soul of the earth, for the creature who is suffering, who is in misery. So now, the whole thing is very tense and absolutely remarkable, the kind of detail we have in these cantos. Although at times these look sort of metaphysical arguments, verbal chopping of idea against idea and all that. But as I've been saying all along, it is not the question of argument against argument. Each argument, each word uttered is a force released into the occult world, and is a clash of force against force. And ultimately, we have to see which force is going to prevail. As far as death is concerned, Yama is concerned, for him there is nothing to lose. He is firm in his stand, and he is not going to eat whatever Savitri is going to do. But then later on, as we shall see in Canto 3 of this book, Canto 3 of Book 10, the argument becomes for her a kind of deadlock. It becomes stalemate. So if it is a deadlock, if it is stalemate, Yama has triumphed. Death has triumphed. Because nothing to gain for nothing to lose for him in that. Savitri wants something back, but he is not able to gain. So what she does is, at that point, she enters into her house of meditation in the soul. In the soul, Savitri is having a big house, and there she sees that a constant yajna is going on in the house of meditation which is there in her. Yajna, offering ahutis to the fire god, Agni, the Vedic yajna. And what does she see there? She sees that it is actually the yajna being performed by the Supreme Himself and His Mahashakti. The Lord and the spouse, they are sitting at the yajna fire and they are making offerings to the Agni constantly, you see. That is the Vedic yajna, you see. So she is Yajmana, that is the house lord, the chief person, Yajman, that is the Supreme Lord Himself, and his mate, his spouse, they are together. Their offering means the divine Shakti and the divine Purusha, Ishvara and Ishwari, Bhagwan and Bhagavati. They are constantly offering oblations to divine Agni. And it is divine Agni who really gives the power to achieve what you want to. Power to achieve what you want. Therefore, Savitri sees in her house of meditation this yajna going on constantly. Constantly, it's not that it has started just now. It has been going on since the beginning of this creation. Since the beginning, ceaselessly, it has been going on. The Lord and His spouse, they are performing this yajna constantly and kindling the fire. And the fire is carrying the prayer to the Supreme up there, you see. And in response to that, the Supreme gives His power, His blessings, grants what is desired of that. So Savitri sees that, and the moment she sees that that yajna has been kindled in her soul, everything changes. Yama starts yielding to Savitri. And he asks Savitri, if the divine truth, the divine goddess is there with you, please let me see her, so that I can worship her. So that is the moment of triumph for Savitri, so that I can worship her. Let the deathless eyes look into the eyes of death. The divine goddess, deathless eyes, let her look into my eyes, and then I give what you want. It is only then, not until then. Savitri reveals to him her full divine form, and then Death realizes that the moment is over and he has to clear the way. And then we go into book 11. the book of everlasting life. So this is the general background of book 10.